Hi everyone. Thank you for coming today here. I'm so happy that this DigiCom.net event takes place in Kyiv. I love the city very much and I hope you love it as I do. The topic of my presentation is the new media between cute lol and oh my god. Why I've chosen this topic? Because in the digital era, in the era of social media, it is, if you are media, brand, or NGO, or any government organization, you are doomed to compete with all the other media and brands and NGOs for the reader's attention. And actually it is really hard, because your very interesting and important article or post, very important post about something, can be placed in the Facebook feed between epic fail videos and pictures of kittens, and it is really hard to gain the attention of your audience through your important post. So today I'd like to share with you my experience and our experience, how we managed to gain the attention of our audience. A few words about me. My name is Julia. I work as Special Projects Editor-in-Chief in online magazine Platfor.ma. Here is our website. It is in Ukrainian, but I think you can explore it. I hope you like it. I should say a few words about our magazine. Don't be afraid, I'll make it really short. Just for you can understand why it is so important for us to attract our audience. We launched our media about 3 years ago, just after the Revolution of Dignity in 2013, which took place in Ukraine, and actually it had a great impact on Ukrainian society, and it had great impact on us. And when we were deciding what we want to write about, what will be the focus of our online magazine, we decided that we want to help Ukraine to change in a better way. Our slogan was Reinvent Ukraine, and we wanted to write about inspiring people, talented Ukrainians and innovators from all the world, about bright ideas and the opportunities around us. Actually, we wanted to be about the bright side of the world, and we thought that it would be really easy to gain the attention of our audience if we write about something very important and clever. What I noticed in these 3 years while working in media, I noticed that it becomes harder and harder to gain the attention of our audience, who are very intelligent and clever people. I think because they are just tired about a lot of information, even of the important one. We work hard on trying to gain their attention. And I would like to share with you 5 tips, some advices which helped me in my work. Maybe they could help you. Does this work? No? Oh. The first tip is create powerful content. I know it sounds obvious, but actually I had to put it in the first place because actually it is the most important thing. If you don't have a powerful story, all your efforts will be wasted. 2 years ago, we thought that would be cool to write about Ukrainian science, about talented Ukrainian scientists, about their scientific research, and it is rather a difficult topic, and we had a lot of concerns about whether we can gain the attention of our readers to the topic, to the problems of entomology, biology, or ornithology. And we didn't know whether our readers will like it, but we published more than 40 interviews with Ukrainian scientists from 21 scientific fields. Here are some of them. Historian, oh, it doesn't work. Physicist and evolutionist. And this project was very successful because I think because we tried to dig deeper and we found awesome content and it was really popular. With this project we gained something about 200,000 of readers, which is very good for the Ukrainian independent online magazine. So try to dig deeper and to find awesome content, and that is the most effective way to gain the attention of your audience. But there is other tip, speak easy. When I think about why this project succeeded, I understand that it is not enough to tell the important story. It is not enough to dig deeper if you can't explain what you just did in easy words. And that is the second challenge which you will be faced. Few months ago, we took part in the informational campaign of World Health Organization. The campaign was devoted to the problem of antibiotic resistance, and our mission was to explain to our audience why it is so important to understand the dual role of antibiotics and why you should take them responsibly. And we started to disclose this topic in a very traditional way. We created the deep analytical article about the problem of antibiotic resistance. We asked for comments, doctors and scientists. We explained why you should take antibiotics only on doctor's prescription and why you shouldn't take them when you have flu or any viral disease, because antibiotics work only with bacterial diseases actually. And we thought that that article is the right way to talk about the problem with our audience. And here is the comment, the only comment which appeared below this very deep article. I'll translate. Good, bad, but if you felt sick, only antibiotics can help. And we were just like facepalm, because we understood that our audience didn't get it, all the thing about responsibility. And we thought, okay, let's do it in a different way. And the next piece within the campaign, it was a video. Can we play a video? It was a motion video where we tried to explain all the problem of antibiotic resistance in emojis. I'll translate. What's wrong with antibiotics? History of resistance in emoji. It's in Ukrainian.
Кожен хоч раз в житті приймав антибіотики. Більшість далеко не один раз. Антибіотики стали справжнім дивом ХХ століття, їх вважали майже панацеєю. Але що як ліки, які так довго рятували людське життя, більше не зможуть нам допомагати? Давайте почнемо з самого початку. Відкриттям антибіотиків слід завдячувати британському бактеріологу серу Олександру Флемінгу. В 1928 році він випадково помітив, що на бактерії дуже погано впливає звичайна...
3 minutes video, motion video. It was really easy to create it. We created in one night, and actually it had 10 times more views than the previous deep article, and the comments below were much more thoughtful. So when you want to speak about something very important, there is no need to do it in boring way. Try to do it in funny way, and I think you will succeed. The third point, treat your reader as a human. I know that it also sounds obvious, but we failed a lot of times in reaching our audience, and that was really disappointing. When you publish some very clever interview with a very clever person and you see only 10 likes below the post. For example, a few months ago we published the speech of Francis Fukuyama, who visited Ukraine, and his speech was very inspiring. He had great ideas. You know, Francis Fukuyama is very good at it. And look at the Facebook statistics. This post reached only 26 likes. And look at the next post. On our site we publish also vacancies for creative industries, and some of these vacancies are funny. And here is one of them, that National Museum of Ivan Franko was looking for a museum ginger cat. And we decided to put this vacancy like the joke on our Facebook, and it gained more than 300 likes and 45 shares. Disappointing, yeah? Especially for Francis Fukuyama, who appeared to be not as popular as a cat. So what we missed, why something like this happens all the time. I think because we used to treat our audience in only one exact way, and as every media we have the portrait of our audience. These are young people from 20 to 45, millennials, with higher education, workers of creative industries. But why these clever people with higher education are more likely to watch pictures of kittens than to read the inspiring interview with one of the most interesting person of the modern world? I think because they are not just the audience, abstract audience, they are not just readers or figures in your Google Analytics, they are humans, and like any human, they feel more emotional about cats than about people, even of the clever ones. So you have just to deal with it, but not only just to deal, but to use it. Try to understand what touches your audience, what touches their hearts, and try to use it to deliver more important messages. I can show you 2 examples where we try to pay the attention of our audience to one of not so easy topics, Ukrainian poetry. Here is a screenshot of our project, which was called Classical Writers in Fashion. We took Ukrainian photos of Ukrainian classic writers, and we kind of wear them in modern clothes, and their poetry placed near them. We wanted to show that Ukrainian poetry and poetry itself is really cool, and it is not something you studied at school and should forget. It is great and fashionable to know what is about Ukrainian poetry. There is another example about Ukrainian poetry. On the birthday celebration of Ukrainian famous poet Taras Shevchenko, we tried to translate his poetry into into emojis, and we invited our readers to guess what poem is encrypted here, and they could slide their left and right. Let's move fast. Use ready tools. I know all of you followed the appearance of one of the most famous multimedia features in media history so far. I'm talking about New York Times Snowfall. Please work. It was really awesome and cool and very innovative. It reached millions of views and won a lot of prizes. But the other detail seems interesting to me, that it was really hard to create it. It took 6 months to create this project, and more than 10 specialists worked on it. And in 2014, when New York Times Innovation Report was published in BuzzFeed, there was an analysis of digital projects of New York Times, and the analysis of Snowfall included. And here is a quote from this report. We have a tendency to pour resources into big one-time projects and work through the one-time fixes needed to create them, and overlook the less glamorous work of creating tools, templates, and fixes. We greatly undervalue replicability. So they understood that they should focus on creating tools which are also popular and innovative, but easy to create more and more again. And there is the other quote of Quartz editor Kevin Delaney, who said that we are focused on building tools to create snowfalls every day and getting them as close to reporters as possible. I'd rather have a snowfall builder than a snowfall. And it actually makes sense, because there are a lot of tools which you can use in your work and which allows you to create more powerful content. And a lot of media and NGOs and government organizations, I think they are afraid of using these tools. They are afraid of moving forward from the traditional text, video, photo formats to something new. Maybe because they think that using of these tools is expensive, or maybe it is difficult, but there are so many tools which are cheap or even free, which are ready to use, and there are no obstacles to use them. I can show some examples. One moment. Okay, it doesn't work backwards. Can you help me, please? No, назад. Okay, there are a lot of tools we use, and actually it is a great topic, and tomorrow there will be a workshop which is devoted to ready tools. Okay, and please come if you're interested. I can only tell about some of them. For example, we use sliders, quizzes. We use some tools which can help us to create beautiful landing pages and web project without any coding in just one day. You can create something like Snowfall in just one day without any developers. So use it. It is really simple. Don't be afraid of using these tools, and come today, tomorrow at the workshop. And the fifth point, is innovate, because around 3 years ago we started the project which was called Media Innovations Lab, and within the project we were exploring how new media are changing in the modern world, and what tools they use, how they innovate, and we used all these tools in our work. But one day we understood that it is not enough for us to use these ready tools. We wanted to have better design, advanced functionality, and we wanted to create unique projects, and we couldn't find tools for them. Okay, thank you. Here's some tools. It's ThinkLink, who allows to tag photos or videos and to annotate them. Here is here is Tilda, who allows us to create web projects without coding, which I was talking about. We used it to create a feature about technological trends of 2016. And the fifth tip is innovate and make friendship with developers. Here is our project, and here is a quiz tool. We developed it on our platform. It is native quiz tool. It was a little bit difficult to create it, but the result was worth it, and I'm coming to the end. I'd like to tell a few words about our most ambitious project. About a year ago, there was an ordinary day and nothing presaged any disaster. And then a crazy idea came to our head. We thought that it would be great to imagine what if our country had its own page in Facebook. I mean, what if Facebook existed from the very beginning of the world, and Ukraine has had its own page from the very beginning of her existence, and how all the most important historical events in Ukrainian history will be presented in this social media. So we created it. It was really difficult because we had to make Facebook from scratch on our website. Our developers were shocked. All the story begins with the post of the chief archivist, who just found an awesome place. Check this out. He posted a photo of Ukrainian landscape, and all the comments and all the likes left by historical figures. Okay, the next. Here is post of Herodotus, who visited Scythia, and he has very good impressions of these lands, and he said that after the histories, I'm planning to write book, the top 10 countries to change your life, and Scythia will surely be there, hashtag Scythia tour. And here is a post of Volodymyr the Great, a Ukrainian Kyiv and Rus prince. We imagine that in 1988 he accepted the Christianity bucket challenge and actually accepted Christianity. Here is post of our classical writer, Taras Shevchenko, who collected all his hits, best of the best, deluxe and cool in one luxury edition. And here is selfie of Ukrainian cosmonaut on the orbit, to take selfie on the orbit done, he says, and even Soviet cosmonaut dogs Belka and Strelka commented on this post. So the point is, innovate, don't be afraid of innovations, create something new, and I think it will be easy for you to defeat all the kittens in the battle for the reader's attention. Thank you very much.